After a bunch of close games in the early games in Week 5, we had a lot of blowouts in the late afternoon games. We're here to break it down right now with senior editor Eric Edholm. And the game everyone wanted to see, Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, now Peyton in a new uniform. And that game looked like a blowout before Peyton rallied back with the Patriots, and that run game held them off. Big Willis McGahee fumble. An exciting game, but still it showed the Patriots are still ahead of Denver.
And I did have that flashback to the famous 4th and 2 game there for a moment. It was 31-14 in that game before Manning led him back. They had their opportunities, a couple of Willis McGahee mistakes, one drop pass he should have had, and then a fumble loss. Of course, the Patriots did make it interesting themselves with a couple lost fumbles, but they were the better team. They had that tempo offense cranking. Defensively, they pretty much stopped the run when they had to, made the big plays, took down Manning a couple times.
And that was a Patriots defense without Dante Hightower, without Steve Gregory, so putting in some youngsters in there, still played well when they needed to. Now let's talk about a couple of these blowouts, Eric. And the first one, San Francisco over Buffalo. I mean, 45-3. The 49ers have the AFC East number, the whole state of New York right now. 311 rushing yards, 310 passing yards. You know, we talked about the 49ers early in the season being the best team, and that Vikings loss, there's some questions, but today they certainly looked like that best team, the deepest team in the league.
And coming into this game, I was questioning, because I was on Alex Smith's case, even in the win last week. I mean, I didn't think he played all that well against the Jets, so that was 2 straight games coming in. He hadn't played well. He stepped up with a big performance today, some nice scrambles, over 300 yards passing. You mentioned that balance on offense. And on defense, Aldon Smith coming up with yet another big play. He's one of the premier pass rushers in this game. Almost perfect execution by the Niners today. And now this is 3 straight games, or 3 games this season, I should say, 2 in a row. The Bills have been blown out. 204 yards of offense, getting a little bit anemic now.
Yeah, the Bills, a lot of problems, defensive line not getting a job done. They got a lot of issues they got to sort out. Now we go over to the Vikings-Titans game. I thought that Tennessee was going to make this game close, and it was close early on. Boy, Minnesota just pulled away in this one. And the Vikings, aside from maybe Harrison Smith's ejection, they still look for real.
Yeah, absolutely. This defense has come to play this season. It's been a huge adjustment from last year's communication problems with the coordinator. The secondary is not nearly the mess it was last season. You mentioned Smith. He's been a big part of it. Of course, he'll obviously want to clean things up there with the ejection. But Titans now giving up at least 30 yards in every game, 30 points, I should say, in every game this season. That's a huge fall from where they were last year.
Yeah, Titans defense falling apart. Chris Johnson not getting the job done at all today after a big week last week. The last blowout, we're going to talk about the Bears going to Jacksonville and just rout the Jaguars. 2 pick sixes again for Lance Briggs and Charles Tillman 6 days after they did it in Dallas on Monday Night Football. A lot of questions after the Bears lost to the Packers, but now that defense is really, it looks like it might be old. Lovie Smith calls them the over-the-hill gang, but boy, do they look good.
They've got something going here. I mean, maybe Brian Urlacher isn't at his sharpest. Maybe that defensive line has a great pass rush, isn't always dominant. Maybe there's some safety questions, but boy, they're playing exceptionally right now. And Jay Cutler seems to have his confidence back, at least, laughing on the sideline. We can put those questions to bed a little bit for the most part. A near-perfect game, though, defensively for these Bears. I don't know if we're talking 85 Bears. I don't even know if we're talking 2006 Bears, but this group is really darn good. They're going to keep them in the race.
And the NFC North now is looking like the Bears, Vikings, and then everybody else, because we see Packers 2 and 3, Lions struggling. They needed that bye this week.
Yeah.
Amazing how this has worked out through 5 weeks. To see all of our analysis of Week 5, be sure to check out our website at profootballweekly.com.